Welcome to the first in a series of 4 workshops on cybersecurity from California Lutheran University's Information Technology Services. Let's take a moment to watch this informative video.
You know, we've been hearing a lot about cybersecurity lately, largely because of what happened to Sony. Companies and individuals are more concerned about the safety and privacy of their information than ever. President Obama has unveiled a number of new proposals this week to crack down on hackers, and he plans to address this in the State of the Union speech on Tuesday. And it's great that the government is working on this, but the truth of the matter is we need to do a better job of protecting ourselves. You know, the most popular password in the United States is password 123. And as long as that's the case, we're vulnerable. So today we sent a camera out on Hollywood Boulevard to help people by asking them to tell us their password. And this is how that went.
We're talking about cybersecurity today and how safe people's passwords are. What is one of your online passwords currently?
It is my dog's name and the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a Chihuahua Papillon.
And what's its name?
Jameson.
Jameson. And where'd you go to school?
I went to school back in Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
What school?
Hempfield Area Senior High School.
Oh, when did you graduate?
In 2009.
Oh, great.
It's like my cat's name and then just like a random number.
Okay. Have you had this cat for a while?
Yeah, she's my childhood pet.
Aw. And what's her name?
Her name is Jolie.
Jolie. So like a password of yours would be Jolie and then a number.
Yeah.
Like number 1?
Like my birthday.
Oh, when is your birthday?
June 12th.
Oh, nice. And what year were you born?
95.
Oh, great. So Jolie, 6/12/95.
Yes.
Got it.
So you mean to give my password right now? No, I cannot do that.
But we all want to know what it is so we can tell you if it's strong or not.
Oh my goodness. Let me think. Okay, one is Tel Aviv. Yeah. 468. And then Israel. It's only 3, but it's, you know, it's for me it's strong enough.
Ireland, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gemma, 1, 2, 3. Spelled Gemma.
Well, most of them are Italian.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So
like what's a good Italian password?
My grandma's name.
What's your grandma's name?
Maria.
Maria. So Maria is your password?
Oh yeah, now you know my password. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the important thing is they learned a terrible lesson.
The takeaway. Your password is your first line of defense and best protection. It's easier than you think for someone to get. Using the same password for your Gmail, Yahoo, and Facebook accounts, as well as others, makes you a hacker's dream come true. So we've borrowed from some popular internet memes for our workshop titles. Today's title, You've Been Hacked. Cybersecurity. Despite the most sophisticated systems to prevent unwanted network penetration, the weak link in the security chain is always the human one. Now, in our actual classroom demonstration, we made sure that everybody had an opportunity to log into their favorite MyCLU account. And when they entered their username and password, they were redirected to a site that they didn't expect. This is called hijacking. And it was a way for us to demonstrate in real-world terms how easy it is to not pay attention. I'd like to give you my personal perspective on the history of hacking. I first engaged with personal computing in the early 1980s, so I have been a witness not only to the meteoric rise in personal computing, but to the effects that hackers have had on the computing world. To begin, I'd like to define the word hacker. According to Wikipedia, a hacker is someone who seeks and exploits weaknesses in a computer system or computer network. Over the years, individuals have had very different reasons for hacking into computers. What has really changed over the years is the motivation behind this exploitation. In the early days, it was all about fame. The stereotype of some kid in a basement with a 256K modem who was creating viruses and unleashing them on an unsuspecting public was pretty real. It was all about notoriety, street cred. An entire subculture and lexicon was created around hacking and hackers, often called the computer underground. It was the early 80s, and membership to the club was pretty exclusive. There were two things at work in the shifting motivations of the subculture. Number one, the Internet and people's access grew exponentially from the early days of AOL to an open platform driven by Internet browsers. At the same time the Internet was maturing, so were the members of the subculture that were exploiting it. As hackers came out of their basements to face the light of day, they realized that they were going to have to find a way to monetize their skills. Many who had developed significant programming and networking skills shifted their attention to the burgeoning computer science industry. Others realized that their abilities to hack into data systems and sell the information could be a ticket out of the basement. Throughout the 90s, as the user base grew and personal computing became ubiquitous, so did the opportunities for individuals to develop money-making schemes online. Now, you may think you know what hackers look like. This guy? Oh, definitely a hacker. How about him? Oh, yeah. Obviously, he's a hacker. How about this face? Oh, yeah. It's got hacker written all over it. And this guy? Oh, evil hacker. Absolutely. Well, if you are still subscribing to the old stereotype that this is what hackers look like, I have some bad news. Hackers can look like you. Hackers can look like me. I was binge-watching my favorite Netflix series last night, and a character used the phrase, "We learn from our mistakes," and it struck a chord. This axiom holds true in many areas of human endeavor. We learn to spell a word by misspelling it. We learn to hit a baseball by striking out. And in checkers, spelling, baseball, and a host of other innocent and innocuous activities, this is a great way to learn. Where technology is concerned, however, in today's world, the stakes are so high that mistakes can be catastrophic. So I've written a variation on the Serenity Prayer for the 21st century, because in a world where we can't afford mistakes, can't count on dodging the bullet or blind luck, we really can use all the help we can get. I call it the Security Prayer. God, grant me the security to protect the data I must not change, the courage to secure the things I can, and the awareness to know the dangers. If you're like me, you watch the occasional crime drama. Well, okay, I confess, I watch more than a few. So, you know the term BOLO. It is an acronym for Be on the Lookout. Here's a high-level list of things to be on the lookout for. Virus. The defining characteristic of viruses is that they are self-replicating computer programs which install themselves without user consent. Trojan. A Trojan is any malicious computer program which is used to hack into a computer by misleading users of its true intent. Unlike computer viruses and worms, Trojans generally do not attempt to inject themselves into other files or otherwise propagate themselves. Worm. A computer worm is a stand-alone malware program that replicates itself in order to spread to other computers. Spyware is software that aims to gather information about a person or organization without their knowledge or consent, or that asserts control over a computer without the consumer's knowledge. Rootkits. A rootkit is a collection of malicious software designed to enable access to a computer that would not otherwise be allowed, while at the same time masking its existence or the existence of other software. Removal can be complicated or practically impossible. Keylogging is the action of recording, logging, the keys struck on a keyboard, typically covertly, so that the person using the keyboard is unaware that their actions are being monitored. Adware is any software package that automatically renders advertisements in order to generate revenue for its author. The advertisements may be in the user interface of the software or on a screen presented to the user during the installation process. The term is sometimes used to refer to software that displays unwanted advertisements known as malware. Bots. An Internet bot, also known as web robot, is a software application that runs automated tasks or scripts over the Internet. The largest use of bots is in web spidering, in which an automated script fetches, analyzes, and files information from web servers at many times the speed of a human. Backdoors. A backdoor is a method, often secret, of bypassing normal authentication in a software product or computer system. Backdoors are often used for securing unauthorized remote access to a computer or network. BSOD, the blue screen of death. Back in the days of XP, we were all familiar with the blue screen of death. Recently, hackers have been leveraging that memory on web pages that pop up a facsimile of the blue screen of death, complete with instructions on who to call to repair your infected system. Ransomware, a type of malware that restricts access to the infected computer's system in some way and demands that the user pay a ransom to the malware operators to remove the restriction. PUP, potentially unwanted program. Unwanted software bundling is bundled software which computer users are fooled into installing along with a wanted program. This software can display intrusive advertising or track a user's internet usage to sell information to advertisers and inject its own advertising into the web. Cookies. A cookie is a small script placed on the hard drive of your computer by the server of a website that you visit. The cookie is placed there for the purpose of recognizing your specific browser-computer combination, were you to return to the same site. A cookie itself cannot harm the computer, as it does not and cannot hold code. Third-party cookies, however, can potentially contribute to malware propagation. Turn off third-party cookies in your browser's settings. Hosted ads are an increasingly prevalent source of malware. All it takes is one click on an infected advertising banner to give a hacker full access to your computer. Fake antivirus, requests to run virus or malware scans that you've never seen before. DNS redirection. Say a user meant to enter AmericanBank.com, but instead accidentally spelled ANERICAN bank.com. Cybercriminals register these misspelled URLs. Treat every entry into an address bar with caution. Measure twice, cut once. Wi-Fi vulnerabilities. Users should never access their bank accounts or any websites containing their personal information over open Wi-Fi networks. Scammers scan through these networks and pick up the login credentials. Lifejacking occurs when criminals post fake Facebook like buttons to web pages. Users who click the button don't like the page, but instead download malware. Link jacking. This is a practice used to redirect from trusted websites to malware-infected websites that hide drive-by downloads or other types of infections. And just to bring it all home, the body of information surrounding cybersecurity is so vast. In 2015, companies specializing in security had billings in excess of $75 billion. By the year 2015, the market is projected to exceed $170 billion. Here are a few examples of cybercrime in our own industry. The average cost per compromised record in higher education is $142. A spreadsheet with 100 Social Security numbers could cost $14,200. Bejeebers, a definition. The yet unidentified material within the human psyche, which, as a result of imminent danger or threat, is evacuated from the host completely. Now that I've scared the bejeebers out of you, what can you do? Well, here's a list of the top 10 best practices to secure yourself when you're computing at home or at work. Number 1, don't leave your computer unsecured. Every time you walk away from your computer, make sure that you log out. According to the most current research, on average, it takes more than 2 months before a new behavior becomes automatic. 66 days to be exact. So start now. build the habit. Number 2, never leave sensitive hard copy material exposed. Okay, yes, this class is all about data. It's all about the digital world. So, how many times have you seen somebody log out of their computer, walk away from their desk, and leave highly sensitive student information exposed on their desk? Remember, not only do you have to secure your digital files, but you have to secure your analog files as well. Restrict remote access. If you ever get a request from anyone to remotely access your computer, the answer is no. Never download unfamiliar software. Avoid pirated and cracked software. Always use a firewall. Keep operating systems and applications up to date. Never execute an attachment. Keep your eye on the address bar. Number 10, your password must be your best-kept secret. The best password in the world might not do you any good if someone's looking over your shoulder while you type. And here's the CLU password policy. Minimum of 8 characters in length, combination of both letters and numbers, does not contain common dictionary words, may not be reused. Passwords must be reset at least every 180 days for students and every 90 days for faculty and staff. Don't use your CLU password anywhere else. Let that one sit for a second, and now I'm going to repeat it. Don't use your CLU password anywhere else. Never give your password to anyone. Never use one password. Use different passwords. Easy Easy for you to remember, but hard for others to guess. Don't post it in plain sight. Password management software and sites? This is a good idea, and a lot of cybersecurity professionals are really starting to recommend password security managers. This is a Lifehacker article on what they consider to be the 5 best password managers, and I've asked around the office, and I know a lot of people now that are using these, and I have to confess, I've never been a real advocate or proponent of password managers, but after teaching this course, I'm looking into it right now. So just go to lifehacker.com and type in Best Password Managers, and you'll get a list of the top 5. Now, also from Lifehacker, some myths. Myth number 1. No one would want to hack me. I don't have anything worth taking. And a great silence fell over the room. If you really believe that, then you're going to get hacked. So maybe you don't have a lot of assets, but your data is extremely valuable. Always protect it. Myth number 2. The default protection for my Wi-Fi network is just fine. The default protection on most routers is called WEP encryption, and it can be cracked in seconds. The best encryption standard to use is WPA2. If your router at home right now is set up at WEP encryption, when you go home tonight, log into your router and change it to WPA2. If you need help, call one of us. We're happy to walk you through it. Myth number 3. Incognito mode protects my privacy. Actually, incognito mode can protect your privacy, but only from other people using your computer. It's not actually designed as a privacy tool that protects you from the rest of the internet. And finally, myth number 4, I don't need anti-malware tools. I don't do anything risky. Yeah, right. The very act of sitting down at a computer, opening a web browser, and going to a website is risky. And it gets riskier every day. Stay current with computer and cybersecurity best practices, and make sure that you apply them to your life, not only at work, but at home. And finally, your free parting gift. If you go to flickr.com, Photos, British Library, you'll see that the British Library has recently made available, and free to the public, free for use, a list of over 1 million images from the museum. And it is amazing. Just take a moment to browse through these categories, and you'll notice that on our opening slide, Informed, that's actually an image from that collection of free-to-use images from the British Library. Well, thank you for spending a few moments with us and talking about cybersecurity. This has been the first installment of 4 courses that we're teaching at California Lutheran University on cybersecurity, the first one titled, You've Been Hacked. So stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.